an interesting opportunity for my people, I think. It would be preferable for us not to engage in another bloody war with your kind, even though Vothis seems to be much diminished these days.
And that is exactly why now is the time. Place allies upon Vothis, and we shall see the fungal jungle as a land of alliances, of friends. There shall be no more hunting, it shall be trading instead. I'm sure the grand world of the Drow have something that could interest the Skisral.
Perhaps, he seems to consider. Very well then, as you are so happy to offer us your services, I might have something for you. He seems to think. Larathak told me that you were on the Isle of Seven Horns. I trust that you have then methods to return to that place in that gnomish contraption of yours.
Whether or not, it would be no problem at all.
She nods. There is a creature on that isle that I wish to see destroyed.
Alauneari sort of nods, listening.
She is called Megara and is the self-styled wicked witch of the isle. She is a loathsome creature that hunts all over the jungle for ingredients to her cauldrons and her concoctions. She has been a plague upon my people for years, taking out hunters, killing artisans, or kidnapping whoever she can lay her filthy green-clawed hands on. If you can track her down and destroy her, and bring me proof of said demise, that would prove your dedication to the cause of the Skisral, I should think.
Alauneari nods. Says, that seems completely within our bounds. You could even say that such would be our expertise.
Nods. Good, good. Sort of moves about a bit. There is also a... she sort of looks around. There is also the matter of, at this point, the larger spider has been sort of eyeing Miku up and down for a bit now. Seems to interject and hiss something at the white spider. In its skittering language. Rilinid will understand that he basically says that that the mushroom man is an affront to the village and should be destroyed.
Well, Mary doesn't get what he's saying.
Yeah, well, Spider seems to listen. And then she sort of looks to Alauneari again. Sort of looks over at him. I guess you would call it consort. Has advised me to notice that you bring a mushroom man with you. He has also expressed some displeasure at this, and I'm afraid to say that he wants him dead.
Well, there we'll look at the white spider and says, yes, that is Miku the hunter. He is of the Zan. We have been to the Zan city and we have established friendly relations with them. We, in fact, had hoped that perhaps our friendship with the both of you we could be the mediators of a peace.
It is a foolish... At this, when Alauneari sort of mentions that they have been to the city of Xan, you see the white spider's demeanor sort of changes, and she quickly does a small, flick with one of her legs, And the big spider, closest to you, takes a threatening step closer, and you see him. Something almost like a shrill whistling sound, and the soldiers in the cave behind you sort of close in, seem to position themselves between you and the egg sac specifically.
Sure, Alauneari will attempt to look unaffected, although, she'll prepare to channel the power of a Garrus if need be. Looking at the words and saying, as I were, we seek alliances and friendships within the jungle. Perhaps our dedication to finding them wherever they may be is proof that our people and we have no wish for expansion into this jungle. And would it not be better for both if each kept to their separate territory and did not hunt the other? Would it not be better for both if you could work together to eliminate common problems as to increase the survivability of both? Looks at the white spider.
She looks quite suspicious up and down at you. And then she says, perhaps, but your admittance that you have been to the city of Xan fills me with worry, matron.
How so?
The sun is the single most cause of death for my people. We have been engaged in a cold war for quite some years now.
We have heard as much from the Zan. They have the same thoughts about you. We, however, do not let that cloud our judgment when we see people of this Gizral, beautiful, magnificent as they are. We instead see the sadness of such meaningless loss of life. It seems that neither wishes the destruction of the other, so the conflict is an escalation of revenge that should be ended.
She actually moves forward the sadness of the situation. These things, she points at Miku, has not only killed my people, they regularly kidnap them where they can to perform whatever horrid experiments they do in their foul city. They are murderous kidnappers, violators of the Skizral people. And you talk of sadness. She almost spits it out.
Looks at the white spider and says, we are newcomers to this place. However, we try to find peace with whoever we can. Would it not be better then, since such a cold war has casualties, if an agreement could be made that no more such kidnappings would occur? Would it be better to end it now? Must more blood be spilled before such an agreement can be made? She looks, your people, these halls are big. Your numbers have once been greater. I would not wish to see them diminished further. She sort of doesn't say this in a threatening way, more in a pleading way. She looks to the art on the walls.
Yeah, the white spider moves around a little bit. And then she says, ending the Cold War, ending the hostilities, you say. That is a nice thought, but I don't see how that it would be possible with the current climate between us. It sort of moves around. If you have friends with the Xan, then by all means carry this demand from me and the Skizral people. They shall stop the incursions into our territory. They shall stop fighting us and stop hindering us from catching prey in the jungle. And they are to release any kidnapped Skizral they still harbor. Any further acts along this we will take as acts of war.
Alauneari nods and says, I understand your grief. If my family were taken, I most likely would feel it would be irreconcilable as well. I simply offer a hope for such things to no longer occur. He tries to empathize, really, with the White Spider, as she actually does feel some form of. This is very rare for Alauneari to feel any sort of empathy with any creature. But if anything, this, it is worshipped as a god, and she can see herself coming in its role at some point. However, it is, from all she has seen and heard, in decline. And if there's one creature she wants as an ally, this seems to be more of it. Yet she knows that the San are far from in a decline, and so it's really she's really trying to be sincere, which might surprise some of the others.
Right. Yeah, the White Spider seems to consider this, and then she again sort of does a flicking motion with her leg. Big Spider next to you sort of backs off a step, and you can hear the other ones sort of back off a bit as well. She looks around. Very well. Your words have reached me, Matron Vytharia, and I must say I do not fully trust them. As I said, your people has a long and storied history. But there is something special about your group. As I said, I cannot see your future. And as such, I might be willing to give you a chance to prove yourselves to us. She nods, yes. If you visit the city of Xan, please inform them of our demands. You have the creature Megara on the Isle of Seven Horns. She looks around. Anything else? Nethkir? She sort of looks over at the big spider glaring at you. It sort of hisses. And says, My queen, there is the matter of the traitors. The White Spider nods. Ah, yes, of course. He looks at...
At this point, Rilinid will actually end up using his silent image spell. And this is going to look a little bit weird because it's... Because Tristan is going to be partly inside of it.
Oh dear.
To create for the sort of audience chamber the same that he created for Larathok before, which was the detailed nuances and depictions of Skethik and Azrak, as Rilinid likes to envision them completely riddled with crossbow bolts and sort of broken and mangled on the cavern floor, with maybe a ghost sound of like their chittering demise.
Yeah, a silent hiss comes from Nethkir as he watched this and looks at Rilinid. You have killed them?
Rilinid will actually say back in Skisrael, They said they were outcast but unbroken. They could not be trusted.
Nethkir seems to, be quite surprised, and you even see a bit of surprise from the White Spider. And he seems to consider. And
Rilinid dismisses the image with a gesture of a gloved hand.
The White Spider seems actually pleased. Well, you do display a greater form of judgment than I thought. She nods. Yes, we are pleased by these news. Skethik and Azrak, as they were called, were outcasts from our people. They were too vicious, too bloodthirsty. They styled themselves not hunters for food, but bandits to ravage and to waylay other creatures, mainly gnomes, but also Xan. We had to let them go. We tried to hunt them down and kill them, but they fled our lands. It is good to see that they are destroyed. Both seem to consider this and contemplate it for a bit. And then there she says, well, since you have taken care of this problem for us, yes, I think you can be trusted somewhat. Seems to consider. We are somewhat diminished in workforce at the moment. Food supplies are a bit dwindling. If you wish to help my people, any offering you can bring in the type of food would be appreciated by the keepers of the stores. She nods. Pale hunters nest if a day or two travel from our caverns. A large nest. We count over 100 of them. If some of them could be brought back, we would be pleased. Nethkir nods at this. Also, my queen, there is the matter of the wolves. The queen nods.
This Rilinid actually, actually inside of Trislin again. There's there's a broken pack now. These horrific plant creatures that were the fungal wolves, which besieged them through the jungle. Also scattered and dismembered. Their spore clouds mingling everywhere.
Oh, they both look at this again with some surprise. And the White Spider says, "You are very proactive. I do enjoy that." However, she sort of squints at the image. And Nethkir says, "Yes, my queen, it seems that the pack leader is not among the destroyed." She nods. "Yes, we have learned that the fungal wolves are led by a vicious beast, large, dangerous. They have killed many of my hunters. We can barely hunt in the western regions of our territory. If he could be tracked down and destroyed, hopefully that would break the pack, spread them, make them loners again. Then my hunters could take care of them much easier."
Alauneari will just do a slight nod and smile, pleased with her brother's performance.
White Spider nods. "Do these things for us, Matron Vytharia, then we will consider further discussions."
Alauneari says, "It is as good as done."
White Spider nods. "Excellent. For now, you are welcome to walk the caverns and the territory of the Skistral. Know that we are watching you, however. Any sign of treachery will have dire consequences. You also have my permission to peruse any of the artisans' workshops for any items you might find useful. Due compensation, of course."
All right. She bows and says, "Then perhaps might I suggest, siblings, that we stay here for a day. Rest, look around the city, the caves. I myself would like to see more of this." She gestures to the art on the wall. "And perhaps some of the silks of the Skizral."
Rilinid will actually interject, "We have much to do, Alauneari."
Looks to him. Frowning says, "I suppose." She looks to White Spider. words are sweet. However, it seems that you have indeed asked us to do much that is better done soon rather than late.
It's about a nonce.
As my brother says so admiringly, it is perhaps time that we act and savor the prices of our victories at a later point.
Rilinid is actually shaking his head. Sort of like lowered his stone-faced head down into one hand.
The white spider seems to nod and then make a motion to basically say that the audience is then over.
Oh, alright. Oh,
Rilinid's not sure that he likes this Alauneari.
time to leave.
Yes.
All of
And there
them,
he's fleeing at top speed.
all of them, just sort of bust by, and Rilinid will actually stay back, and he'll actually, his parting words say in Skisral, "My sister does mean well, however, she is rather arrogant and sort of narrow-minded about the desires of others. I will attempt to guide her on this."
The white spider seems to nod and say, "It is good for a matron to have a trusty advisor and consort. Guide her well, then."
Where's he?
Rilinid will actually give like a little flourish, and then he will leave on his own. He feels that revealing his knowledge of their language was useful at that time. Now they'll know never to whisper in front of him again.
I only need more languages.
They did find it peculiar that he just produced the images for whatever they were talking about.
It's like
What's
this
the
like
chance?
image box, like word association.
Exactly.
Will he do that with other things?
So what about Fungal Wolf and
Oh,
peculiar? Can we have him? Your friend?
this is pleasing to me.
Put him in the treasure room.
Exactly.
Does he
Like
does he
Google
already know other
images
things
for his choice.
like City of Zan layout? Oh yes.
Defense map. Weak
Exactly.
points of San anatomy.
Excellent. All right.
I was trying to find a place to speak during that, but Alauneari was so intent with that goddamn shovel, I figured I'd let her have it.
Yeah, you leave the caverns of the Skisral unmolested.
That's good.
What?
That is your
Kill
choice of
everything.
words for this.
They weren't as many as I expected, so that's
I figured those were just the ones in the main caverns.
Yeah,
We didn't see all the others obscured by web.
and we're not gonna get out of their cavern place anyway. If we were to kill them all, even if we were to kill them all, we'd still be in the labyrinth of impossible numbers and.
If somehow we could defeat all of them.
We know Rilinid's combat prowess. We could do it. Yep, we
Yes.
go. Hit with everything.
My amazing combat prowess, yes.
We go
I
back
think
to
we
the sand.
lost
Here's the
Ivy
telescope
and
and the
somewhere
body
with
of the white spider.
Yes.
Happy?
That's right. He's actually like, no, I've been using you all to achieve my own ends. Well, this wasn't entirely unexpected.
Kind of knew that.
Well, okay, let's, how about we go hunting for pale hunters first? Since those would be the close by, and if we're actually going to bring them back, they might actually have some goodies within their nest,
I don't
too.
want to go for the fungal wolf leader.
I think they'll still be there.
It's like
See, we're going to have to hunt, a larger area for, a fungal wolf leader, as opposed to pale hunters. I imagine they have, their
Chance
nest set up in the cavern
If we
wall.
just move about, they will find us, right?
Well, we don't exactly know how their leader looks, so I'm just hoping that he has some sort of distinguishing appearance that,
Probably
two
really
are there.
big. I mean, they could see it wasn't the leader.
He's
so-
he has one eye, he talks. He has, 7 siblets of intelligence.
Yes,
I don't know.
He has a top hat and a monocle.
I'm actually
say-
looking for allies of my own.
I hate the white spider.
And the alchemist. If you could defeat them both for me, I will give you safe passage.
Exactly.
Well, that's a convincing
Safe
argument if I've ever heard one.
Sold.
Well, I think we'll kill you. No, you cannot. I'm a philosopher. Sticks and stones.
May break my bones.
But I don't have any bones because I'm a plant, you see.
So,
It doesn't matter. I have a sword.
so really it's all irrelevant in the grand scheme of things.
Let's go to the Pale Hunter's nest.
See, they didn't give us an exact hex location, unless they actually did give us an exact hex location.
No.
Can we, if we spend here like half an hour, find someone who would be willing to mark their area on our map?
You know, for the Pale Hunters, sure. The Pale Hunters area is marked as over here.
Okay.
Not their actual territory.
You know,
that
I don't think
share
they
map
trust us
information.
enough to give an entire map of here's where all of our hunters go. So if you move
Yeah.
the Zan army through this particular hex,
Exactly.
You won't be killed yet, so. Nah, no.
1806 Pale Hunters.
They did give us a lot more to do than the Zan, honestly. So that's something.
Well,
They have a lot more problems.
But more for us to do.
well,
Yeah, like,
you know,
wolves.
you were such a simpering sycophant with like, we will do anything for you in that pleading tone. So,
They also told us to go back to the Isle, didn't they, to kill something.
Yes.
yeah,
The
who I
bridge.
think might be a hag.
Yes, most likely.
So we have
Well, Alauneari doesn't
two
know
kill
and
quests
doesn't
and a
care.
fetch quest.
She'll have to die, and that's just.
And then we need to go tell the alchemist to get fucked, basically. What do we got?
Could you please stop? You know, you really bitch a lot about Drow kidnapping Zan and making them into potions.
You know, the last time I tried to relate to the alchemist, it looked like he wanted to kill me. So
No, we go above his head, you know.
you don't think you'll still? Alright, then we are off then on a great adventure. I don't know whether it's worth trying to explore each and every individual one of these tiles. I think the hunters might have found anything of interest.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. There's no reason when we're so close to the city.
So 2 days then, taking us from the city of the Skisroll then to 1806, I imagine.
Yes. Yes, indeedy. All right. Yeah, you know roughly the area you're looking for, and you are on the outlook, and there is only one, cliff wall. So, following that, you make your way east to try to find the Pale Hunters, and you do come upon them, late in the day of the second day. You do see suddenly, up in the cliffs, and you can hear the screeching of Pale Hunters as you look up the cliff and see quite far up a collection of like plateaus and small cliff faces and things that seems to be riddled with like big, like messy nests of like, stone and bark and other like weird things, basically cluttering the whole wall quite far up, actually. As you approach, it seems to be a space for quite a number of Pale Hunters. You would guess that the estimate of 100 or so, living around here, is probably pretty accurate. There's not that many here, though. You would guess that most of them are out hunting or something else. But you do see some movement up there.
Let us kill the children and the women. While the men out hunting.
I hope the Skisroll didn't want these things alive, because we don't have like cages for them. We don't have webs.
Beat them into submission. As long as you drag them along the ground, should be enough.
That's right.
On a lethal
Punch them until
keep
they
them down.
fall
Non-lethal
unconscious.
damage. So, like, we will like reduce them to bleeding, then staunch the wounds, then like wrap them all up in enough rope that they can't escape.
Blunt arrows, go!
There you go.
It's like, I think we should take some time, maybe like a day or two here. I would like to get a better sense, or at least my character would, and I suppose I would too, of their like hunting patterns. Like, I want to get them at a time where maybe they have the fewest numbers of pale hunters over the nests, because we're not exactly good at fighting in a 3-dimensional environment.
No.
As we have noticed, fighting against the fucking undead gnome.